Welcome to Tea and Shenanigans. Mustafa and I are back in the saddle, so to speak.
Hey, everyone.
I know it's been a hot minute, but we're finally back on here. I have several things we can talk about. However, there is a piece of, I guess we'll call it breaking news because it only came out today. I don't know if you heard, but Prince Frederick of Luxembourg, who was only 22 years old, passed away.
Oh, when?
Apparently, March the 1st, but I did not see it break in the news until today. So apparently he had a rare genetic disorder, something he was born with. But I mean, that's so sad. 22 years old. Like, that's just unfortunate.
That's young.
But yeah, so Frederick de Nassau, I don't know if that's how they pronounce it, but he passed away in Paris, March the 1st. And of course, that's very sad to hear. But that's the newest bit of news. But moving on from that, I saw a blind item that said that there was a king of a, how did they phrase it? Like a northern country.
Okay.
That's going to be stepping down very soon. And some people are speculating that it is King Harold of Norway. Which is interesting because Norway is where all that scandal is going on with the crown prince's wife's son.
The stepson?
Yeah. Okay. And that whole hot mess is still going on. So if the king does step down and the crown prince becomes king, does that mean, I mean, I'm not accusing anyone, but does that mean it's going to get all swept under the rug? Or is it going to be this huge, even larger scandal? I don't know. Thoughts? I mean, to refresh everyone's memory, it is the Crown Prince of Norway's stepson. What's his name? Oh gosh, I forget his name. Anyways, he is a wild child, even though he's not a child. He's like 27, 28 years old, but he's been accused of horrid behavior. It's YouTube, so I'm going to say mistreatment of a romantic partner on multiple occasions, right? Substance abuse, hideous things like that. And then there's also this story that his mother has helped cover for him on more than one occasion. So if his stepfather, the crown prince, becomes king imminently, I don't know, it could become a bigger, because most people, if you're not paying attention to royal news, you never heard of these people before. Probably you certainly don't know that the stepson of the crown prince is into some pretty messed up stuff. But anyways, I thought I'd start with news that didn't have to do with the people that we normally talk about on this show, but I cannot go any longer without bringing up With Love, Meghan. Have you seen any of that? Meghan Markle's like cooking show thing?
No, I mean, not much even of a buzz going on about it.
There's a reason for that.
I know there was talk last month about Trump and the prince, and he said he's not gonna kind of kick him out of the country in a way, but he talked about her in a kind of funny way.
The way he said it, he was like,
she's a troublemaker or something.
He said, I'm not going to deport him. You know,
he has a lot to deal with.
He has enough trouble with his wife. She's terrible or something like that.
Yeah. But the show, no.
Okay. So it came out a few days ago now. And I think I said in a previous episode that generally speaking, I like that sort of content. Like I enjoy it sometimes. So it's possible that I could go into it. And who knows, maybe it might not be that terrible and whatever. Full disclosure, I saw the entire first episode, some of the second episode with Mindy Kaling, and then I breezed through the last episode. The reason for that is that it is so boring. So boring. And I would say that whether or not it was Meghan Markle's show, if it was somebody else and it was the same format and pacing and whatever, it is painfully boring. That's the first thing. Secondly, it's so disjointed and nothing connects or goes together. She just does all these random things that don't really, from one episode to the next, there's no common theme, which is weird for shows like that. Usually there's some kind of overarching, connecting, whatever. Anyway, so I will say I don't hate it with a passion. the content itself. But at the same time, it's like, I think I saw someone, after I saw the show, I saw some of the reviews, and there was someone, I think it was a tweet actually, someone said, it's like watching stuff from 2015 Pinterest being put in a show, which is, yeah, like I get it. And the episode with Mindy Kaling, who we all know from The Office, right? Great show. Yeah. Which we were watching, was that today? We were watching it today?
Yeah, earlier today.
But it's so awkward. It's very awkward. Like that was the second episode, and I didn't get all the way through it because it was just so weird. Like I felt awkward watching it, and you could tell Mindy Kaling, like, to her credit, I felt was like trying her best, you know, to like play into the part that she had in the show and like show interest and ask questions and give compliments and whatever. Meghan Markle, this is what kind of amazed me about this show. I kind of expected to see like a hint of this charisma or personality or charm that she supposedly can turn on to like woo people, like how she won over Harry and all these other people. I don't get it. Like, she's so boring. She's boring and like very flat. Just, I don't know. It's hard to describe. She has no charisma. She doesn't really have a lot of screen presence, which could explain her lackluster acting career. But I don't know. It could have been okay. It could have been at least packed. Whoops. The equipment agreed with me. Couldn't stand it any longer. No, it could have been okay, but she just doesn't have the talent to pull it off. I'm sorry. Not only does she not have a fun, engaging personality, every once in a while, and I should show you some clips and then you can react to what I'm talking about. There were a couple of instances where somebody would say something to her and it's amazing, like with all the editing and the stuff that all the quick cuts that they clearly did with this show, it's like they couldn't even hide. Occasionally she'd have this look of like just complete boredom, or occasionally it was like pure contempt, or she was displeased with what someone has. I mean, you could just see it all over her face. There was one instance, I think it was with Mindy Kaling. Oh, I know. Have you heard about this? Where in the second episode with Mindy Kaling, Mindy is going on about how she says something about, I don't think that most people know that like Meghan Markle eats or ate at Jack in the Box. It was part of a conversation that it was just kind of funny. Again, like I say, Mindy Kaling was making an effort to be part of this show that they're putting on. She is doing her best to play her part, right? I felt she was making an effort. Anyway, she makes this comment and Meghan Markle gets this look on her face and she starts with that like fake laugh that she does. And she's like, it's like so funny, which it's not funny. It's so funny that you keep calling me Meghan Markle. You know, I'm Sussex now.
I read about that. Yeah.
And it was just the tone of voice and the expression on her face. It was just like, oh, like what is wrong with you? Like who would stop mid-conversation when you're supposed to be having this banter and correct someone like that, first of all? And she knows that everyone calls her Meghan Markle. Everyone will always call her Meghan Markle. But it was just, there were multiple incidents like that where somebody would say something to her and she clearly didn't like it. And she would just get all attitude about it. Mm-hmm. Oh, she can't help herself. Anyway, that I don't understand, but whatever. But with the Sussex thing, the name thing, I noticed that people started going off online about what is she talking about? Like, that's not her name. The royal family's name is Windsor, Mountbatten Windsor, da 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 da. And there's all these people arguing with each other. Well, it pains me to do this. It so pains me to do this. But it wasn't that she claimed that her name or that she's now Sussex. I just thought it was weird, her attitude about it. She's not wrong in saying that. Like, I really hate to say that she's correct about something, but she's correct because, and I'm not British, it's true, but I have kind of made a study of this because I'm weird and I find it interesting, like titles and rank and stuff like that. The royal family, the name is Mountbatten Windsor, well, House of Windsor. but only blood royals can use Mountbatten Windsor. Like Harry's children, they are registered as both Mountbatten Windsor and Sussex. Meghan could not properly use Mountbatten Windsor. That's not proper. That's not to be done. But anyway, so there are some people that are like, what is she talking about? Like, that's not their name. No, that's the name that she could very properly use. It's like when Harry and William were in the military, they went by William or Harry Wales. Like William and Catherine's children use Wales as their surname. That's a common thing. And no, it would not be proper for Meghan to use Mountbatten Windsor. So I really hate to say that she was right about that, but she's right about that anyway. But,
I don't know. I'm not following them. I just like sometimes stuff shows up on my X feed, and but not that much of interested in it.
Oh, I know. It's not really your speed.
Yeah.
That sort of show, lifestyle, and like it's just so goofy because no one is in their kitchen cooking in a probably $1,000, I don't know, several $100 like white cashmere sweater. Like nobody's doing that. And at the same time, I can see how an argument can be made that like the point of a show like that is to be unrelatable. Like it's like when you watch like the Kardashians or something like that, where it's just these super rich people with their super rich people problems, that have every aspect of their lives taken care of for them. But I don't know. Meghan's trying to sell that it's like this, I don't know, normal, approachable thing that we can all aspire to be. And it's really not. So I don't know. It's just kind of whatever. And then everybody was losing their minds over her claim that her show has been, quote, renewed for season 2. I mean,
it's not even in top 10 Netflix shows.
It was for like a day.
A day, yeah. I mean,
the best, I think it got up to like 5th or 6th place. And then it's dropped off completely. And it hasn't even been out a whole week yet, so whatever. I mean, of course there was going to be interest in it. There's going to be people who quote unquote hate watch it. There's going to be all the journalists and
all Hollywood,
YouTubers like us and whatever that watch it, but it was never going to last. And now she's claiming that there's season 2 coming out. She made that claim on her Instagram, and then it promptly came out later
about Instagram
that they had already filmed it.
Yeah, I heard that she's been so active on her Instagram.
Yeah.
Like she's been like out of nowhere, she just became active and posting pictures of the kids.
Yeah.
Something like that.
The woman is desperate. And then,
sorry, I'm just a little bit sick. My
yeah, you're still sniffling.
Nose, yeah.
I have noticed that the stuff she posts, you can't, of course she has it to where you cannot see how many likes that it gets because that would be relinquishing too much control. And maybe it's not as many likes as she wants us to believe. But what I find interesting is that you go on there and you can see how many views each video has gotten. And it's pretty much been static. Like she gets the same amount of views, generally speaking. And she's only gained, I think, like 100 and some thousand followers since, imagine a Netflix production where they spent God knows how much money on that show. Plus all the PR and all the stuff and whatever. And she can only get another 100,000 followers. Like I don't think that bodes well.
She lost her shine. When she first came out, we said that here before. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, you know what? She played the race card and stuff, and the time was kind of not that obvious in a way. A lot of people, especially young generations, start comparing her to Princess Diana and all of that. Then, after that, she started just become a troublemaker.
Well, the more
like fuss she made in the news
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, not in a good way. Like Diana, yeah, she was in the news, but like, for example, she was with the United Nations. She did that. She did that. This one is just like a drama. Nothing much going on. Nothing helping the community.
No, and that was the thing. They started out when they left the royal family talking about how they wanted to still, do world changing things and philanthropy and all this stuff. And
yeah,
it's just, she's devolved into this Instagram influencer. I mean, that's literally all she has. And it's funny you say Princess Diana, because Meghan went on the Drew Barrymore show the other day to promote this new show of hers. Mm. And it was interesting. I saw clips of it, and then I saw people reacting to it. So, I don't want to steal other people's analysis, but I did see the clip and I noticed it. And then I saw other people talking about it. Drew Barrymore, who is honestly more royalty than Meghan Markle will ever be as far as Hollywood goes. I mean, the Barrymore family is extremely, that's Hollywood royalty. I mean, It goes back generations. Anyways, they do their little segment, and Drew Barrymore whips out this photo, this old photograph of her when she was a very little girl, and when she met Princess Diana. Whenever it was, some of it. And she was talking about how it was just such an incredible moment in her life. And, Diana was so iconic and all this stuff. And she whips out the photo, and Meghan is standing next to her. And as soon as the photo comes out, Meghan takes like this big step over, like putting distance between her. And there was just this look on her. She looked so uncomfortable. It was really weird and awkward. There were some other instances in that interview where it seemed like she didn't want to be there, and she was trying so hard to pretend like she wanted to be there, and it's so great and whatever. And I really don't think she wanted to. And I'm not sure what all had gone on behind the scenes, but it seemed like there was something, and she really wasn't about it, and she was trying to fake it. But I thought that was interesting, really weird. But so, yeah, I don't know what she thinks she's going to do. And especially, as I was saying a minute ago, she claims that there's season 2. Well, it came out later.
There was
that they already filmed it. It's already in the can. And it's not like it was renewed and now they're going to make another season. No, it's episodes they already have. But they're going to, why shouldn't they release them? They have them already,
You saw someone, forgot the handle name on Twitter or X. I think she was some famous model or something like that. Same picture she posted for her show, and the guarding, the dress she's wearing, even the angle from a picture from the 90s.
Who is this?
Meghan.
Looking like what?
Exactly, from some model. I forgot who it was. Like 2 days ago, I saw it.
Like she was copying somebody?
Exactly the same.
Oh.
Like the way from her kitchen, like you go onto those steps into the garden, the flowers, the way she was dressing, exactly the same.
All she does is copy people.
Probably it's not her, it's someone else. Like, because you have show directors. You have, like, we were just talking like earlier today about the camera angle. Not the new generation who watch Netflix don't remember what's happened in the 80s or 90s,
Yeah, but I mean, there have been so many instances of her copying people that I would totally believe it was her idea. Because she's one of those people that doesn't have any original ideas. It's like, I don't know when it starts for people like that.
Who does have an original idea now in Hollywood in general?
As a
show.
person.
What we going to do? A spin-off of Suits. And we watch half of episode 1 and we were out.
Suits LA or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad. So bad.
Imagine one of the episodes, like short clip I saw today showed up. They brought, what's his name from The Office? Malone. The accounting guy.
Kevin?
Kevin Malone.
I don't remember his real name.
And in the show, he's talking as he's an actual actor. And he was like, I need a different role. People they had to bring from a different show. Yeah, he's playing as kind of on a real world in a way.
Yeah.
But that's how desperate they are.
I don't know.
And the actor, I forgot what's his name. I never liked him. He was just in one show. Kinda, I liked the show, but his acting was so bad in it. And in this show, you saw him like the way he just walk and stuff. And
well, I remember we sat down and I wasn't even paying attention. You turned it on and started watching it. And you remember I said to you, I was like, who writes this dialogue? It's so bad. The acting is bad and the script is terrible.
I remember when she walked into into his office about like she's taking his position. The dialogue was like so cringy.
Yeah, it's like, okay, maybe I'm just, I don't know. Anytime I see legal shows like that, it's so not true to life. Like that is not how things are. That's not how people talk to each other. No, that's just no.
Speaking about Hollywood, kind of in the news, it was last night about Gene Hackman.
That is a really bizarre case. I mean, okay, so my understanding is that his poor wife died like a week before he did, and
she, from what they said, some kind of virus.
I'm not sure, but then he apparently had Alzheimer's,
and a whole week he did not. No one
like knows. No one's checking on these people who clearly are old and have health problems, and no one
like. What about the dog? Like she died a week before he died.
Yeah,
and that's what the report came out with. But they didn't say much about it.
It just sounds so strange.
His cause of death.
And what are the chances that she would die and then he would die a week later?
Yeah.
Of natural causes?
That's the thing.
I don't know. It's very strange and very sad.
But
he had like what, 2-3 children?
Maybe.
No one checked. Like I talk to my parents every day. Like who doesn't check in with their parents? I don't know the family dynamic, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
and people with money like that, they didn't have caregivers. Assistants.
The other day they showed a clip of him, and it's on YouTube. It were PBD with Andrew Tate. They were talking about fatherhood, but he was like, "Let me just show you that." And that clip, when he was 78 years old, he got asked. The presenter asked him a question about his dad. He said, well, my dad left when I was 13, and the guy just couldn't talk after that. It was just crying. When he was 13 and that interview when he was 78, all that time, it was just, he was trying to say, it still hurts me. I remember him leaving when I was with my friends in the street playing, and he just drove the car and waved to me. That was the last time I saw him.
That's wild.
So I don't know how is his relationship with his kids if he misses his dad and stuff. So
I don't know. That's sad, and I hadn't heard that. But
yeah. What other news you have?
Well, we're not talking about Andrew Tate on this show.
No.
Oh my gosh! No. Please, no. I don't want to use that kind of language on YouTube. The way what I think about him.
I mean, they got really backlash for having him in the show. Like I've seen
I'm glad.
Comments. Even the staff themselves, they didn't like him. Even I think PBD didn't like his answer. He was asking him questions, and he would just go and start talking about how he is like a brown, tall.
Yeah. Whatever, man.
The word is cute. Let's say guy.
All I'll say is that I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter. A lot of people going off about it. This is my thing. These people with shows, these influencers, whatever, PBD, Candace Owens, all those folks that have had him, whatever. They get all this criticism from the viewers for having him on there. And then they come back with, oh, what about free speech? Does he not have a right to speak? This is my thing about all that. And I'm not trying to get political. I think this applies to everybody. Yeah. I think he should be able to say whatever he wants. And yes, I think these show hosts should be able to have whoever they want on, but that doesn't shield you from criticism from your audience going, hey, we don't want to hear from this scumbag. No, thank you. And yeah, he can say whatever he wants, but like, he has his own platform. It's not like he's being muzzled. He can go out there and say whatever he wants. He has a Rumble show and all this stuff. So like, I get really annoyed when people say, oh, but what about free speech? We're not talking about that. He can say whatever he wants, but you as a show host should have more discernment than to just have any of these people on. They're just trying to get clicks. We know that.
Yeah,
Choose better.
I think like it get him like good viewers, but at the same time, he came to Florida, so
I know.
who's
Too
in
close for
Florida,
comfort.
so, yeah, and apparently when through the interview he was talking when I texted you, when I DM'd you and stuff, so they had kind of a history between them, I think.
Probably. And I don't know. It's just like, ew. Why? The guy.
Yeah.
Why? What else is he going to say that we haven't already heard before that he hasn't already said on his, like I say, on his own platform?
Yeah, he didn't say much. Something you'd be like, oh yeah, I agree with him about that. All he talks is about his case, which kind of he a little bit lied about.
Oh, no doubt.
In it.
I'm not inclined to believe anything he says because he's lied about that stuff before.
I don't like
colored it a little bit.
The way he was talking about women's.
One should.
No matter if you're a guy who supports women or don't support, the way he was talking about, I have a wife and I have girlfriends who have and the way he said the name of Tate, it has a heavy burden on it.
Oh, whatever.
Those women, what else they want? Money, good life and stuff. Yeah, they will have my kids. I was like, dude, having a kid is different than, like it has a different mentality.
That dude.
Different environment. And
what gets me about him, what first got me about him, and I didn't really know, I just saw clips, people circulating on like Instagram or whatever. And he goes on and on and on about the Matrix. He likes to talk about that. The Matrix is coming for the Matrix, whatever.
He just talk.
Oh, I know. But the
saying
thing,
some words he does not even understand.
And think about it. He talks about the Matrix. Okay, this dude goes out there and advocates, and he's proud of the fact that he has umpteenth women and all of these children spread across the world. He's proud of that, right? He makes fun of men who have one wife and children together and raise the kids together and are loyal to each other. He literally ridicules men that do that.
Yeah, he was making fun of a pastor in Nebraska.
Yeah. It's like, I can't think of anything more matrixy than convincing young men that, family and loyalty and faithfulness and having kids with your wife is bad and oppressive and not manly, but it is manly and it's awesome to go out there and be a deadbeat dad to dozens of kids that you will not raise yourself. Like, I can't think of anything more matrix than that.
Yeah, he goes and he starts talking about about Megyn Kelly. And
I wouldn't. That chick will level you.
I think she's gonna have something with him. She's gonna reply to him.
Probably.
He talked a lot.
She doesn't mince words.
Even though, and you know me, I'm not a big fan of Ben Shapiro, but he went and started calling him midget and the show, dude. And
Ben Shapiro, agree with him, disagree with him politically. As far as anyone knows, and he's been in the public eye for a long time, he's a good husband. He's a good father. Everyone speaks
PBD
well of him that way. Like, what are you talking about? Sit down.
He told him, he was like, he's a kind of he has kids, job, wife and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he goes and starts accusing him of getting money from OnlyFans. That APAC pays Ben Shapiro, but OnlyFans pay APAC and APAC pays Ben Shapiro. So he was like,
that's a really strange argument.
Accusing me and talking about his webcam sites.
Oh, give me a break.
At the same time, he does that. He talked a lot. He was saying all the women who has a boyfriend or a husband. Oh, yeah, your husband have a side chick or something. And I was like, dude, what you talking about?
That man has a warped mind. And based off of the things that I've heard him say from him about his own upbringing and childhood and this is a guy, him and his brother, that are the product of a broken home. His parents were divorced. He clearly lived with one, I guess, in the US and then went, because they grew up mostly in the UK. With his mother is the one that's British, right?
I think till he was 8 or something.
I've heard him say things about his dad that make me raise an eyebrow. Like, that's interesting. I wouldn't doubt that, his childhood and upbringing, like I say, were not ideal. And clearly, a I don't know, a loving family unit was not his experience, and therefore he just strikes me as someone who's just mad at the world.
I don't know. I don't think he's a good influence for especially young people.
No.
Yeah, he's talking about, I'm gonna make your kids, like especially boys, be men. Not in that way.
He doesn't know how to be a man.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask about my kids, they on the whole flight they will not make a sound. They just will sit and stuff. I was like,
which kids?
That kind of abusing?
You mean the ones that don't live with you, that you're not raising, that you have? You've gone out there and made a bunch of women single mothers, and clearly they participated in that. But I'm just saying, you're going out there actively trying to make that happen. That is so disgusting.
He's comparing his situation to Elon Musk, since Elon Musk has a lot of kids.
I have words to say about that too. Elon Musk, and he's on his 14th child with how many women? It's gross.
Remember that one I sent you? Like, there's like the family tree of Elon Musk and his kids and the girlfriends and the was it his ex-wife or ex-partner?
It's hard to keep track.
Yeah. Anyhow, beside that, what else in the?
Oh, I got off track. I did not mean to talk about those people. This is supposed to be about Meghan Markle and cooking shows and so forth. Let me think. Royal news. That's all I can really. Oh, well, King Charles has gotten some heat, let's say, for welcoming Vladimir Zelensky.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Was that last week, a few days ago? Well, it was after Zelensky and Trump and VP Vance had that big blow up in the Oval Office, which is interesting because all I saw for a couple of days, because I didn't have time to like look into it, were the little clips that were going around in the commentary, and people were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that Trump did this and exploded and whatever. I went back and watched the entire interaction. It is nothing like what people were reporting. Not even close. Like, there were outright lies being told by journalists and other people, like on Twitter. They made it sound like this horrible thing.
They take out of context. Like,
just big time. Clip. Even more than I thought. Like, I thought I was used to it, but no.
All about JD Vance and AI pictures they're making of him and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Going out. That's not anything new. But yeah, that was interesting. I mean, if you have any inclination and you believe what you've seen on Twitter or the report, like, go watch the interview. You've been lied to. That's all I'm going to say. Just go watch it for yourself. Then after that huge explosion, then Zelensky went and met with King Charles, and people were freaking out like he's getting political and this is a bad idea. I disagree with that, because Zelensky, like it or not, whatever you feel about that, he's the head of state. You know, he's the president of Ukraine meeting with
the higher up. I think that's normal. Should be.
Yeah. I mean, Trump's been invited for a state visit to the UK coming up sometime soon.
Didn't he met the last
what are you complaining about? Yeah. I don't know. So whatever. I don't really understand that, but
only if they thought the king will. Which I don't think in UK that's a king order or way to send money. Or something to
no, they don't have the authority to. No,
yeah, I think that's the
monarch
prime
is a figurehead.
Yeah, that's the prime minister job. But yeah, UK, I don't think they are doing any good too. At the same time,
Keir Starmer, that dude. Oh my gosh, I just shake my head. I shake my head at the things. I don't know. It's amazing to me.
Yeah,
I just see on Twitter a lot of Brits are not thrilled with him. That I know. I mean, you can look at the poll numbers. The Labour government is not doing well. So, I mean, we'll see.
Worldwide, the governments, no matter right or left, they're just
everything is just so unstable.
Is switching. The countries that were right wing are turning left, and the left are turning right.
Well, you saw the elections in Germany, right?
Yeah, Germany.
Well,
same thing. Canada is. Maybe not gonna go right, but they're not happy with Trudeau.
I don't know. It's
hard to tell. Like, I don't live there. I don't know their situation, but it's even overseas, Middle East and stuff. People are just like kind of looking for a change. But I don't know. We don't talk politics in here, but it's. I think there's a new change coming to the area in the Middle East now, especially after Syria was going on.
It's horrible. I mean, right? Have you seen some of that stuff on X?
I saw.
The
I told you
Christian
about.
community is being massacred.
I told you. And today, people in Syria went out protesting what happened, and they're asking the permanent government that, hey, you need to take an action about what's happening because those are your people.
Mm-hmm.
They got shot by individuals, masked people with guns. They shot like just
pews
unarmed. Sorry, I didn't.
I said pews. We're on YouTube.
Anyhow,
yeah,
and then the Secretary of Foreign Affairs or something like that, he tweeted today about it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And in Iraq, they've been importing natural gas from Iran since 2017, and it's like every 2 years they do kind of renew the deal. Today, the USA revoked that and said no more to get natural gas from Iran. So that's probably going to be, yeah. So yeah, that's one of the stuff going on in there.
Well, it's interesting. I read, and I need to try to verify this. I saw it on X, so you never know. But I read that there's a Russian airbase in Syria, and that they were taking in like women and children of some Christian, some what's that other group? Is it starts with a D?
Druze.
Yeah.
Druze.
Some of them, all the ones that are just being hunted.
Druze, Alawi, Sunnis, Shia, who, because like the Sunnis now who's controlling Syria, they're not the actual Sunnis, it's the extremist versions, which everyone knows who.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, but there was a lot of kids and women, older men got were victims.
Yeah, let's see here. Russia has opened the, I can't pronounce this.
What's the word? Let me see.
KHMEI.
Where is it?
Right here.
Khamimi.
Airbase. Yeah.
Khamim.
Okay.
Khamim.
Anyway, so,
Khomeini, maybe?
all you ever hear about Russia is they're bad, they're evil, they're whatever. Well, not always. I'll just put it that way. You can't paint everyone with such a broad brush. Anyways. All right. That's what I have for that. Have you heard anything interesting?
No.
I'm trying to think of more royal related things, but it's mostly just been, of course, Meghan Markle stuff, yada, yada. And, what we already discussed. So I guess time will tell. Of course, with Meghan Markle, she has her new quote unquote season 2. All it really is just more episodes of the first filming they did, whatever. But everyone's waiting to see about the renewal or non-renewal of their Netflix deal. However, I will say that they recently brought on a woman. I think she's supposed to be like head of communications or whatever her title is, who used to work in some high capacity for Hulu, I think. And some people were speculating that maybe they brought her on and they're shopping around because they know they're going to get dropped on their butts by Netflix and they're trying to latch on to a different streaming service. So, I mean, time will tell, but that didn't go well with Spotify. I mean, they got dropped by Spotify and then she got picked up by that other no-name Lemonada thing. And now nothing has come of the podcast. So I think that's pretty much permanently dead. And I think this other stuff is going to go the same way. I mean, now that once their contract is fulfilled, Netflix is going to let them go. Probably. And that's it. No one's going to pick that up. No one's picking that up. Sorry.
Yeah. Any updates on the princess health? Like
Princess of Wales? Last I saw, she's recovering, doing well. It was a few weeks ago now. I guess she visited the hospital or one of the places that she received treatment. And that kind of slightly broke the internet because I don't think it was very publicized. And she just kind of showed up over there to meet some of the patients, cancer patients. And I can't remember the name of the hospital. Anyways, So she's just been kind of getting back into the groove of things. You know, I'll hear that she's been at this event or that event. She and the Prince of Wales were at a joint event the other day. I forget, some sort of charitable thing, of course. And I've just noticed that she hasn't gone back to the way things were before, let's say, because I feel like she used to have a lot more engagements, a lot more events, and now I think, and to me, it's a positive thing. I have no doubt that this health scare, this experience that she had with cancer, I have not experienced that for myself. I have had people very close to me who have gone through that. And there are very few things in life that kind of force you to really think about your life and reevaluate, you know, your priorities and that sort of thing. And I have no doubt that had a great impact on her and their family. And it just seems like she's, if I had to imagine behind the scenes, you know, she's choosing what she wants to do, and she's probably even less hesitant than she was before to say, no, I don't have the time. I'm not going to do that. I have my children, whatever. So
it's just someone, I was looking to see like royal news and stuff. Someone said, this show is so basic and inspired. My local grocery store makes better fruit rainbows than her.
You talking about Meghan Markle?
Yeah.
It's true. It's just boring. It's so boring. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Yeah, I got bored. That's why I didn't make it through the second episode. And I sped through the last one. It's not interesting. Sorry, but whatever. You know, we'll see what the next season, quote unquote, brings.
Did she just like in the show just talk about like food and stuff, nothing like personal life?
So when it first came out about this, it was mostly everyone referred to it as a cooking show. The closer we got to the release, to them dropping it, it started being referred to more as tips on hosting, a lifestyle show, you know. So like the first episode, it begins with her going out to her bees, and it doesn't look like she's ever been out there before. Doesn't know what she's doing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, but I found the pictures from the show that's matching different shows and stuff.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Like even the clothes she's wearing.
It's just basic. It's
even
so
one
basic.
One of the dresses is exactly Angelina Jolie's dress.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And yep, that's it. Yeah. Genuine, everything needs to be. Yep. The Angelina Jolie's clothes she's wearing.
It just doesn't, I don't know. Like I say, it opens with her going to the beehive with the beekeeper who clearly does all the work, even though this is at a house that's not hers. Or I don't know if they were trying to say that the bees were at her house, and then in the next shot when they're in the house, it's the one they use for filming. Whatever. They go from that to her making homemade bath salts, which who does that? I don't know. Then she has this friend come who turns out to be her makeup artist, which means he's an employee. So she pays him. So of course he's going to, whatever. And then they make candles. And then, you know, what was it? She made some basic pasta thing. It just doesn't flow. It's like, what are you doing?
Ew. A scene in the show. That's I sent it to you. A scene in the show. I'll send you that one. She has raw chicken legs in the fridge, sitting, no cover, nothing next to the salad.
I saw. Oh, Princess Carparkle. I follow on Twitter. Yeah, it's actually at Unremarkable on X. It's hilarious. I love this.
Look at this video. Oh, so for someone who just passed a health inspection and food service management course, that's not a health thing. That's a health code. Like, you know, it's an issue.
It's like, and then I guess I would say, what were the producers thinking? But the truth probably is that she was telling everybody what to do because she can't take direction from anybody. Yeah. It's whatever. That's my sound effect. Wah, wah, wah.
All right.
Anyway,
Anything else,
I think we've ridiculed her long enough.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it gets to the point where I almost start to feel bad for her, like being piled on so much. But then I think, she deserves it. She brought it on herself. Anyways, that's it for today, I think, unless you can think of anything else to add. We've gone on long enough. Meandered down a rabbit trail, per usual. Good times, though. All right, well, that's it for us today. I am so close to going and grabbing Luke by the ear to get him to record our next podcast episode, but he's been super, super busy. There's been a lot going on. Let's see. Since our last episode, we've been to Texas, Washington, D.C. We've had a lot of work, a lot of stuff going on. But I've got to nail that down because it's a part 2 of a series for our podcast on firsts. First king, first queen, you get the idea. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that's forthcoming, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have another Tea and Shenanigans before a proper podcast episode. Anyways, thank you guys for listening, for hanging in with us. We always appreciate your time. Hope you enjoy it. Comment, like, subscribe. If you let us know what you think. If you agree with what we were talking about, if you disagree, it's all good. Let us know what you think. Did you watch Meghan Markle's train wreck show? Did you like it? Did you despise it? What do you think about raw chicken legs mixed with celery? I personally am not down for it, but hey, everybody's got their own opinion. But that's it for us this time. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you.